What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Goddess Unicorn, coming and checking again. Wanted to talk to you guys basically about everything that's been going on with the Nipsey Hussle situation. His passing was extremely unfortunate. I think it felt tragic for all of us. And I'm going to be really transparent with you guys. I probably ever heard one of his songs, but hearing about what he did in the community, was something that I kind of seen on and off. But I mean, I didn't really know who he was like that. But for some reason, the energy that his passing held alone let me know just how purposeful it was. And I know, for some people they'll be like purposeful, but one thing that we have to understand about ourselves and about life and about the way that things have been divinely planned and timed is that everything serves a purpose. Constantly throughout time, we have seen our leaders, those men or women who have chosen to speak up and use their voice and talk out, be imprisoned or murdered, and basically be plotted against because they're choosing to step up and speak up against things that we have not found the power and the courage to speak about ourselves. And with the Nipsey Hussle situations, everyone's basically saying that they feel that he was taken out because he's about to do the Dr. CB documentary and tell everybody about that. But let's say that's true. Let's say that's 100% true, that it was all part of a plot and plan, and everyone who played a factor was all part of the government and what they're trying to prevent from coming out the same way that they tried to with Dr. CB. This is the question that we have to start asking ourselves. Why do we keep putting ourselves in positions to, one, need a leader and a voice to speak up for us, and two, allow ourselves to be conspired against by people who look just like us but only have a little bit more power because of the position that we have allowed them to be put into? Why do we keep needing leaders? Why do we have to keep basically having sacrifices born into generations in order for us to finally get the clue, in order for us to understand what it is that the divine has been trying to make us privy to over and over again throughout history? If you think about history, it literally just repeats itself, but it repeats itself for the reason that it affects every single one of us. Every single one that is in this dimension that is on the earth, it repeats itself so that we can finally start learning some lessons. But unfortunately, we're not learning our lessons. So because we're not learning our lessons, we keep seeing very powerful and courageous people being taken away from us because, unfortunately, because we have been raised in a very egoic world. And when I say egoic, ego is that part of you that basically makes you hard-headed, that makes you have to learn things the hard way in order for you to finally learn them. Because we have been raised in a world that makes that seem like that is okay and like that is the way things are supposed to be, we don't get the clue until tragedy strikes. And it's time for us to start asking, why is it we have this brain in our head, all this common sense, and we keep seeing the same thing happen over and over again, and we're not taking the steps we need to prevent this? Why is it we have to have tragedy in order to have triumph? Why is it we're sitting up worrying about conspiracy theories instead of doing what we need to no longer be conspired against? What you have to understand about each and everything that goes on right now, the police, the government, the FDA, none of these major authority figures would be needed if we did not put ourselves in the positions to feel like we need them. They're not doing anything that we cannot all come together and do, but they're doing it and they're continuing to stay in these positions because they're targeting and doing things that make us think we have no way of ever rising above our need for them. But we're more powerful than that. None of them that are in those positions are more powerful than we are. And the only reason that they have made themselves powerful is because they have more of a financial pool, because they have the right connections to make us think that they're doing something that we cannot do. Let me explain something to you. They can target one person. They can take this leader. They can imprison that person. They cannot take down all of us. And at the end of the day, they're the government, but we're who they govern. If they did not have us, they'd have no one to govern. And they're only able to govern us because we've put ourselves in a position and we think so little of ourselves that we don't know how to come together within and then come together as a people so that we can put ourselves in a position where we can make sure that every single one of us is good without having these people above us constantly attacking us from each and every way that they feel. We are powerful people. We are gods. We are goddesses. We are divine. That is why the universe is constantly trying to get us to learn our lessons, because we do not see exactly how powerful we are. We do not see that we're the ones that are creating the heaven and hell that we're living in. We do not see that we're the ones giving these people the power to do what they are doing to us. Though they make us try to think that they're powerful through force and through fear, they're not as powerful as we are. They are just like us. Every single one of those people eat, live, sleep, breathe just like we do. And if you cut one of them, they bleed and die just like us. Period. None of them are any different. But the reason that we're not stepping up is because we're not channeling the leader that is in us. We're not channeling the power that is in us. Imagine if all of us had the power and the courage of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Nipsey Hussle and Gandhi. What if all of us possessed that same power? Guess what? What if it's not even a question, because we do? Let me explain something. We are so powerful that we can think something, speak something, feel something, and it manifests in places that we've never even seen, and in places that our feet have never even touched, in places that our presence has never even been in. Do you understand how powerful that is, that you can speak something so deeply into existence and plant a seed that you've never even touched that soil? Because your words and your thoughts and who you are and your energy and your divinity is that powerful that you're able to manifest stuff and make things move in places that you've never even seen. You can decide you want to manifest you a business and you've never been to New York a day in your life, but in New York, someone got the right connection with the right person and saw the right thing move. And the next thing you know, you get a phone call from somebody in New York simply because you put it out in the universe and believed in it and felt that power within yourself to do it. So now you're seeing it manifest. That is the change that we're going to have to start making within ourselves so that we can do that as a people, to get these ourselves out of these situations of falling victim to people who we have allowed to be put in positions of power. That's just like with the police. The police are only needed because we don't have the self-control and the self-love to be able to better manage the way that we deal with things. We have not been taught how to heal things. We have not been taught how to love ourselves properly. We have not been taught how to take traumas and break those generational curses that are connected to those traumas that have been passed down to our families, so we can have a better life than those before us. That is why in families you see where, you'll have a mother who's on drugs and she spent most of her life in and out of jail, and then you'll have a child who's the exact same way. Or even if the child don't get it, the grandchild will get it, simply because no one is taking the time to learn the lesson to break the curse. No one is getting that these things are happening because no one is teaching us how to properly love ourselves and have self-control by having personal power and self-love. We're giving these people the fuel and the ammunition to be able to do what they're doing to us. And the only reason that they're able to do it because it's only one of us who are willing to step up. How many leaders do we have to leave in order to finally start leading as a people and leading ourselves so that we don't have to keep going through these same curses? Because that's what it is. It is a curse. At some point, someone's going to have to change something within themselves so that we as a people can come together. And at this point, the someone is all of us. That's just it. It's no more we're going to lose somebody tomorrow, be sad about it, lose somebody yesterday, be sad about it for a few weeks, see what that death was, basically see the bigger picture and what we needed to, what they were trying to show us before they passed. We act like we're going to do it, and then we just go back to our old comfortable ways and then get mad when it happened all over again. It's happening all over again because we're not learning our lessons.